Our Puranas teach us one thing: do not mess with rishis. Their tapas gives them extraordinary spiritual power, and among them, Rishi Durvasa is perhaps the most infamous for his sadhanas, his tapashakti, and importantly, his ability to get angry very quickly. And strangely enough, even when Durvasa's action appear destructive, they often become the beginning of something transformative. This is one such story. Once, Rishi Durvasa gets hold of a divine garland from a Vidyadhari. This was no ordinary garland. Durvasa knew it as a dwelling place of Sri or Lakshmi herself. It is such a powerful object that Durvasa felt something like this should be with a king, perhaps king of all the Devatas. So he goes to Devaloka. As it happens, he encounters Devaraja Indra seated on his royal mount Airavata on the way. He immediately offers his salutations and gives this gift to the king of the gods. See, this is where Indra does something very questionable. He was on a leisurely stroll. Perhaps Indra did not intend an insult. Perhaps simply Indra did not understand the significance of what he had been given. But that is precisely the problem. Indra had become so accustomed to his prosperity that he no longer recognized prosperity as something sacred. He just took the garland and placed it on the head of this majestic white elephant Airavata. Intoxicated by the attractive fragrance, the elephant took the garland from his trunk and cast it to the ground, tears it off, and crushed it with its foot. This wasn't just ignorance for Durvasa. This was pure arrogance. Absolute disrespect, by the way. So Rishi Durvasa turned red in anger. The Rishi explicitly tells Indra that he has failed to honor the garland which was dwelling of fortune of Shri herself. Before Indra realized what has happened, he was cursed. The wealth and prosperity that has boosted your ego so much, may it vanish from their existence. A terrible curse, of course, but this not only affected Indra, but the entire universe itself. Indeed, Lakshmi departed from the three worlds. The gods lost their splendor and strength and prosperity and disappeared. The Daityas and Danavas seized this opportunity. So every form of wealth known to man started to disappear. This event led to the great Samudra Manthana episode that we know, where the whole of creation, that is Deva, Danava, Yaksha, Gandharva, Manava, everyone came together to churn the Kshira Sagara with help of the Mandara Parvata as the churner and the great snake Vasuki as the rope. Out of that great cosmic churning emerged the extraordinary things, including Devi Lakshmi. I'm sure the story is well known to us. But the reason why I wanted to reiterate is there is a very common misconception that Devi Lakshmi is merely the goddess of money. If you are in a monetary trouble, pray to Lakshmi, she will shower you with money. In fact, I have seen people pasting coins or money notes to Lakshmi's pictures as if money is pouring out of her hand. This always kind of icked me. Not that there is anything wrong with associating money as wealth, it is part of it, by the way. But defining Lakshmi as goddess of money is a very shallow, especially compared to what we see in the Puranas and Itihasas or Shastras for that matter, which is a very authentic source for us to learn from. This Samudra Manthana story emphasizes two things. First, Shri or Lakshmi is the very essence of the wealth. She is the wealth in all forms. Secondly, prosperity can be fragile. It can be wealth, skill, knowledge, health, reputation, or even the ability that we take for granted. Losing something that may happen in a moment, rebuilding it can take years. Without practice and dedication, relearning or regaining takes an incredible amount of effort. Like how it took all of creation to literally churn the ocean of creation to bring back Lakshmi. The lesson isn't merely to pray to Lakshmi for wealth. It is to recognize wherever prosperity has entered our lives and to treat it with gratitude and discipline and respect. If knowledge is our wealth, we must learn. If skill is our wealth, we must practice. If money is our wealth, we must use it wisely. If our work sustains us, then our work itself becomes our offering. Because the moment we become careless with what we have, what has been entrusted to us, we begin to lose it. Remember, Indra did not lose Lakshmi because he became poor or he was distracted. He lost Lakshmi because he became careless with what he already possessed. That's much deeper. The story isn't pray to Lakshmi and she will help you. It is when prosperity produces arrogance, prosperity itself becomes unstable. And that directly supports Durvasa's curse. He calls Indra out for being intoxicated by wealth and power and says that the very prosperity he has taken for granted will depart. That's exactly why we worship Devi Lakshmi. This devotion is not just towards a divine entity, it is extended to everything that's considered as wealth. The idea is not just to offer donations to an idol, it is to treat the very work that we do as puja. This is my offering to Lakshmi. The more careless we become with the wealth that we have, the more it goes away. There is one more layer to this. The Sanskrit word Lakshmi is connected with the root word Laksha, meaning to perceive, mark, observe, aim at. And Lakshmi has meaning including mark, good fortune, prosperity, beauty, and splendor. More importantly, there is a traditional explanation preserved in the commentary of Lakshmi Tantra. Lakshmi is called as Lakshmi because she is the aim or the goal of all living beings. This translation is preserved in the sacred books of the East, which says essentially that she is called Lakshmi because she is the aim of all the human beings. So Lakshmi need to be understood merely as money is a very wrong representation. She can represent what is auspicious, what is desirable, sustaining, and worth attaining. Interestingly, this very thought process is once again explained in another story, a story perhaps from one of the chapters of Skanda Purana. One day, on the Mount Kailash, Devi Parvati approached Lord Shiva and asked him about a vrata, a sacred observance that could bring auspiciousness and fulfillment to women and their families. Shiva then told her about a particular vrata called as Varalakshmi Vratam. And to explain this and its greatness, he narrated the story of a woman named Charumati. So this Charumati lived in the city of Kundina. She was a married woman. She was devoted to her husband. She had exceptional character. She was very respectful towards her parents and in-laws, and she was dedicated to her children and the responsibilities of the household. She did not seek out Lakshmi merely because she wanted to become wealthy. Her life itself was an expression of discipline, devotion, and service, of course. And then one night, something extraordinary happened to her. Goddess Lakshmi appeared to Charumati in a dream. The goddess told Charumati, perform my vrata, that is the auspicious puja or observance, on the Friday of Shramana month, before the full moon. Worship me as Varalakshmi and your wishes will be fulfilled. Charumati awoke from this beautiful dream and immediately told her husband and the family what had happened. She did not keep the blessing to herself. She, in fact, shared these instructions with the women of her community, and together they prepared for the vrata. On the appointed day, Charumati and the other women bathed, prepared the whole sacred space, and invoked Varalakshmi and performed the worship as mentioned with devotion. And then something remarkable happened to them. As Charumati and the women accompanying her completed each circumambulation around the goddess, they experienced blessings manifesting in their lives. The vrata was completed, and Lakshmi, pleased with Charumati's devotion, bestowed her grades and heaps of grace upon her and those who had accompanied her to participate in this puja. The household received prosperity, the wealth, and all sorts of knowledge and prosperity. The story doesn't tell us that Charumati was rewarded merely because she wanted money. She already lived a beautiful life of dharma, devotion, discipline, and service. Lakshmi's grace comes into life that is already oriented towards her and what is auspicious. And that perhaps is why the name Varalakshmi is so appropriate. Vara means boon or blessing granted. And Lakshmi is far greater than the coins that we place before her image. She is sought out by people who seek her for the righteous reasons, and that is how you achieve the blessings of Lakshmi. You have to walk the path towards light before the light enters you. So, as we discussed, the Sanskrit tradition connects Lakshmi with the idea of Lakshya, that is, goal or aim. So, there is a beautiful traditional way of looking at this. Lakshmi is not simply what you possess, she is what makes life flourish. She can appear as wealth, but she can also appear as knowledge, nourishment, health, family, skill, reputation, beauty, courage, success, and the very opportunity to pursue a wealthy goal. And perhaps that is what Charumati's story is trying to tell us as well, to show us as well. She does not begin with Lakshmi as money, she begins with Lakshmi as grace entering the life of Dharma. That is why when we celebrate Varalakshmi, perhaps we should ask for more than wealth. We should ask, what is the wealth that I truly need? What is the goal worth pursuing for me? What do I already possess that I have failed to value? It can be relationships, it can be friendships, it can be knowledge, skill as well. Because Lakshmi is not merely the wealth that comes into our hands. Lakshmi is also the grace that makes the wealth meaningful. So on this day, which is the Varalakshmi festival, I sincerely hope you ask this question to yourself and seek answers to them. If you have already found these answers, cherish that revelation and guide others when you can. As always, remember, Dharmo eva hato hanti dharmo rakshita rakshitaha.